Hello, everybody. My name is Saeed and I have invited Elaheh here as a guest for just starting the first podcast, better to say wadcast. We are going to just make a video out of the thing we are recording here, and we are going to talk about different topics. Today, we are going to talk about the questions Elaheh brought for us. Elaheh, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
Hello to everyone out there watching and listening. My name is Elaheh Soltani, and I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Saeed John.
So let's start it. Just Elaheh, you want to raise some questions, I suppose.
Yes. So self-confidence is an important issue, especially in today's world. It's something that I have personally always have dealt with. So I asked a few of my friends about questions that they would like to be answered, let's say, in this regard, in the topic of self-confidence. And so today I have brought the questions, and so I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to talk about them. So first of all, before diving into the questions, could you define self-confidence for me? What do you think is self-confidence?
I always say that when we come to these kind of questions that are really fundamental, it is a little bit difficult to answer self-confidence.
Of course.
Or just these questions generally.
Yes.
Because defining them is just the kernel of, I suppose it raises the kernel of truth for human beings and our existence. Self-confidence, I'm not going through just academic view of that or what psychologists say. In my opinion, it is just my opinion.
Okay.
I believe self-confidence is something you have scaffolded during your life, experiences and other things. And now when you look back, you see that I have a nice background over there and I have just succeeded in lots of things. We have two categories. I mean, just lots of people with different viewpoints. But in my opinion, some people say that, okay, I have done nothing. So the best thing is just give them the chance to see what they have done during their life. So, and what I have seen, lots of people have done lots of things. So just bringing this concept up that I haven't done anything, it's a kind of fake thing because people don't want to believe in themselves. But generally speaking, in my opinion, self-confidence is being doing lots of things in the past and being fully aware of the things you have done and appreciate the things you have done. Because when you value the things you have done in the past, you can see that just everything is okay. It is not like the case that, people say, wow, it is not correct. People are not just good, or you judge other people that you're not good because lots of people. The problem is that as an English teacher, I believe I have done lots of good things. I don't say I am the best. Nobody is. But
of course.
I have done lots of good things, so that made me just have a bit of self-confidence that would suffice my life, suffice to live, better to say. But generally speaking, I believe having self-confidence is mostly on you and
Correct.
the things you have done before.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
So if I want to just mirror the question, what is self-confidence in your opinion?
What is self-confidence in my opinion? Well, self-confidence in my opinion, to put it very simply, is to believe in one's capabilities and abilities, to believe in yourself, to believe that you can do something, you can achieve greatness, you can achieve success, not to let's say, have too much of too much of an expectation of ourselves, but to be fully aware of our abilities, capabilities, and to know that we can, using those abilities, we can accomplish what is reasonable.
I should interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, of course.
When you say, I have some expectations, what makes those expectations? I mean, just what criteria define those expectations? Because there should be a kind of standard criteria to just consider this as a good thing for you or a bad one. So
Yes.
when we are just consider it, are we supposed to just live up to other people's expectations to say that, okay, that person is like this because I'm not like that, so I don't have enough self-confidence?
No, when it comes to expectations, I believe that the expectations that we have of ourselves, they root from two things. One is from the abilities and the capabilities that we have. And because we are aware of those, abilities, so we expect certain things from ourselves. The other, which is, I think, kind of like negative and can be disruptive, is the expectations that we have of ourselves based on what we are seeing in society, based on what other people may say to us, and most importantly, based on how we compare each other, how we compare, oneself to another. For instance, I don't know, maybe I see a friend of mine and I see that, she has become successful in a certain career, and I'm like, okay, she's done it, so I can do it too. But I'm not really, digging deep into the matter that, okay, if she has become successful in this career, what are her abilities? Is she talented? How much work has she put in? Okay. So these expectations that, let's say is employed on us because of what we see in society and because of other people, these can have very negative impacts on us. Okay. And it can actually, not only just, let's say, not only be disruptive on us, but also can have negative impacts on the self-confidence as well. It can, because when we don't reach them, it will lower our self-confidence and can have bad negative.
But I have a point, just lots of people sometimes devalue their, let's say, values, and they say that, okay, my thing is not a valuable thing. They try to just, I don't know, just debunk what they have done during their life, their deeds, per se, and because it is not valuable anymore. Let me just give you a very nice example.
Yes.
If you go through the domain of writing, lots of people who are writing nowadays are not just valued as they used to in the past, because in the past, an author was a very just important person. But nowadays, as you see, an author doesn't make a lot of money. So money, as we all know nowadays, justify your social status. So if you are just usual writer and you are hardly make ends meet, the point is just nobody value your thing. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is that you're authentic. Your authenticity is important. I mean,
of course,
if I know that just people will judge you, but who cares about other people's judgment? Because at the end of the day, it is just you and you living together. It is not like even you're just close friends, close, I don't know.
Or even your partner.
Whoever who's around you, at the end of the day, is not over there. You are just in front of a mirror looking at yourself and what you have done in the past. So the most important thing is, in my opinion, you go through yourself and evaluate how good you are or bad you are. So and sometimes people try to just change themselves. I mean, they try to metamorphose themselves to something else to let's say become the standard, the public ones. But the reality is, first, you cannot be, because it is not in you. Second, if you become the one others want, you're not satisfied with you.
Exactly.
Just because no matter how much you are earning, you're not satisfied, because what is so nice about being someone else? It's
like living someone else's dream and not living your own. It might be nice, it might be glamorous, it might be sparkly, but it'll never live up to what you want. So you're always going to feel some like emptiness, some void inside you. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Okay, good. So let's move on to the next question. My next question, well, it's not like a question. Let's just it's expanding the first question, if I may put it. So how many types of self-confidence do you think that we have? I personally didn't know this. And it was a question for me. I was like, okay, we know self-confidence, but do we have different types of self-confidence? So, I actually typed it in Google. I looked it up, and then, I found out something. First, I want your opinion, and then I'll tell you what I looked up.
Because you sent me the questions, I haven't just even read them.
Yes, I know.
I was so busy. But, to tell you the truth, I believe, I don't know. I will wait for you to answer the question. But before you started, we have different competencies and different talents. I believe based on those talents and competencies, we can have self-confidence. I mean, just if a person knows that he is good at, I don't know, literature, poetry, other things, if he is competent and he has the talent of doing that, I suppose if he knows that he's doing something authentic and different, he should be just consider himself as a confident
So you
person.
kind of like defined one of the categories of self-confidence that I've brought here today. It's professional self-confidence. It's basically to have confidence in one's career or professional abilities. Exactly the thing that you mentioned. Okay. So, I'm going to just
said it off the cuff.
Yes. Okay. Good. I'm just going to quickly go over the different kinds of self-confidence that we have because I myself found it really interesting. So the first one is general self-confidence. Okay. Which I think defines itself. There's no need to go over it. We have social self-confidence. Social self-confidence, it involves confidence in social situations, like the ability to communicate, making friends, building relationships. We have professional self-confidence, as you mentioned. We have physical self-confidence. Again, I think it defines itself. It's related to our appearance and how we look. And we have intellectual self-confidence, which I think is the most sexiest probably, which involves confidence in one's intellectual abilities, problem solving, critical thinking, and academic pursuits. And last but not least, we have emotional self-confidence, which refers to the confidence in which we can, manage and express one's emotion. And as well as also being able to, cope in life when, things get up and down, let's say. So these were the 6, I think, self-confidence that I found online, which I thought was interesting because I always thought that I myself just don't have self-confidence in general. But after reading these categories, I realized that, okay, no. For instance, in social self-confidence, I'm like up here. Like I have a lot of social self-confidence because I'm very sociable. I'm nice. I'm friendly. People enjoy talking to me. I'm convivial. Sorry. Yeah. So, okay. I don't have a problem with social self-confidence, but when it comes to also, this goes out for emotional self-confidence as well. But when it comes to physical self-confidence, this is something that I've always definitely struggled with. I've always struggled with the way I look, my body weight, everything, things like that. Okay. So I realized that, basically the thing that I most lack in is not self-confidence in general, but it's actually physical self-confidence. So this was a very nice point for me to realize. It was a good, realization. So I'm going to ask you the question, which do you think among the 6 self-confidence that I just mentioned, which do you think for you is like in the highest level if you were to categorize them? And which do you think is like the lowest, or are all, like above and beyond?
It was a very nice question, and I love the definition you brought for us. The categorization and all of those kind of things. What you said was just fabulous, no doubt. But my question is this, before answering your question.
Of course.
Because, I believe I'm average in everything. I'm not just very high and very low in anything. But the question is this, based on what kind of thing, because when we are just measuring something, we should have a ruler.
Of course.
We should have just some standards.
Yes.
Based on what kind of thing you say that just someone is just beautiful or ugly or physically attractive, or because there isn't any measurement. And during time, this pendulum swings from one side to another side. So how can we say that just someone is beautiful easily, someone is ugly? In my opinion, nobody is ugly. Nobody is very beautiful, because it depends on the different period of time.
Exactly.
If you were, for example, so thin, I don't want to name someone. We all know some of them, some of those role models. If you were so thin, I mean, like those people, something like, I don't know, 50 years ago, you would be considered as ugly. And
in the period of like when Marilyn Monroe and
yeah, I don't want to name
things
anybody,
like that.
yes, but just after that, when you I don't know, being bony, being skinny was just fashion.
In the early 2000s,
Somehow, just if you were someone with just big boobs, big butt, you were not just into
Agreed. Yes.
anything. So, but now, I mean, just 10 years ago, it was again fashion.
Yes.
Nowadays, some people, I mean, lots of people are just doing physical workout. They are working out, better say. And, just a woman who is muscular, angular shaped woman would not be appreciated something like just 50 years ago. So, all these concepts would depend on, let's say, advertisement and time.
100%.
So, even being emotionally confident, professionally confident, there was a time people who was just working for himself, starting a business and just running a very small shop, had a lot of confidence. But nowadays you see that just people with small shops or I don't know, different things, they do not have the confidence as they did in the past. So just everything is time dependent. We cannot say that, okay, this is because of, I don't know, those reasons and other type of things. So I believe confidence and all these basic things about humans, even concept like honesty and other things, all of them are time dependent, and you cannot change it.
Well, I 100% agree with you about, especially for me, I've actually, let's say, decoded why I, lack in physical self-confidence, let's say. The main reason is because, okay, so
why I'm laughing?
Why? Because I keep moving?
No. I remember two people were interviewing something like this. It was a podcast on YouTube, and the woman was talking. Suddenly, she moved her head, and the fig.
Oh yeah, I saw that clip. Yeah. No, this is my real hair. So yeah, we're not gonna have such incidents. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, the reason I myself lack in physical self-confidence, I think, is mainly because I grew up in a period of time. I'm a millennial, so I was born in like 1995. My childhood period, my teenage, years were in like the early 2000s. Back then, like icons such as Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they were like the face of pop culture. And when you go back and you see them back then in that time, like their body shapes, how they were, not just them, like everyone in that industry, in the music industry, in the Hollywood industry, they were, shaped in a certain way, which is basically extremely thin. So, I guess maybe that's kind of, got into my head and just stuck there, and it hasn't really gotten out, okay? And now I am aware that, okay, that's not healthy. They themselves have spoken out and, have said multiple times in multiple interviews that, back then, they weren't on healthy diets and, that physique was not healthy at all. But for some reason, I'm still seeking that. I'm still seeking that. And until I don't achieve it, I guess I'll always, I think, lack physical self-confidence. And the funny thing is, we've been friends for 7 or 8 years now. So the first time that you saw me, I wasn't this overweight. Okay. So I was much thinner. Okay. Now. I'm not overweight now, but I do have some extra pounds, which I need to lose anyways. You saw me the first time. Mm-hmm. You always say that you were just like a little tiny little girl. Okay. Mm-hmm. Even back then, I thought I was imperfect and I was still seeking something more. I was still trying to lose weight, which is ridiculous because now that I think of it, I'm like, okay, were you obsessed? Like, what else did you want? I mean, you were in your best shape. You had a very good diet. You were exercising. You were strong. So
what's wrong with you?
What's wrong? It's just, I don't know. It's in our head. And, the thing that advertisements does with people's mind, it's just, how should I put it? I think we don't realize how much, overrated it is. We don't realize that how much destructive it could be, And
nobody cares because they're making money out of it.
Nobody cares about it. It's just that,
we have a different type of snacks nowadays that they're not healthy. Mm-hmm. Alcohol, I don't know, cigarette. All of them are not healthy, but they, not just cigarette, but they advertise most of them. So
you mentioned that. We have the other side as well. So there's this new drug, osmetic, something like that. I don't know if you've heard about it or not. So it was apparently basically designed for it was designed for people who have type 2 diabetes, okay, to help them with their insulin levels, okay. But then some celebrities, I don't know who, started taking them as a strategy to lose weight. And unfortunately, nowadays, a lot of people all around the world are taking them. They're extremely expensive. I think each shot is probably $1,000. I'm not sure about the price or anything, but it's also a very expensive drug. And what happened is that a lot of people are taking it. They don't have diabetes. They're just overweight. They're taking it. And I've heard a lot of news of people dying and because of taking this drug. Yes, they've had heart strokes or, I don't know, some blood clots in their system and things like that. And the funny thing is that now, the other day, it was, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I read a news that apparently a lot of people who are taking these drugs, who took this drug 3 years ago, now they're gaining the same weight that they lost. Mm-hmm. So it was just it's kind of temporarily, okay? So, I mean, imagine spending so much money, putting your health, most importantly, putting your health at risk, and then at the end for nothing. So it's funny, but not in a good way. It's ridiculous. And, we are all aware of these, but I don't know why still it's kind of we fall into their trap. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about myself, not you, but I myself still sometimes I find myself, oh shit. Okay, they got me again. Again, they got me. That's how much fucking powerful they are. They really know what they're doing and how they should do their job. So, I don't know. Yeah.
That was nice, Elaheh, for
Thank
today.
you.
It was the first session. We were just recording, and I hope you like it. It was very interesting as a first experience. It was amazing for me because we wanted to do that, and we did it finally.
Finally, after, I don't know, 3 years, maybe?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Bye-bye.